Welcome back, everyone, to a brand new box office breakdown show here on Max Talks Movies. My name is Max Dinnenberg. Today, we're going to talk about the domestic box office from this previous weekend, which was from June 23rd to June 25th. Also, going to look at the 2023 worldwide and domestic numbers, and also preview what's hitting theaters this upcoming weekend. I'm Max Dinnenberg. Welcome to Max Talks Movies. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Ring the bell down below for notifications so you're notified when my new videos drop. I do this show every single Monday, as well as other movie reviews, TV show reviews, movie rankings, and this show. So please subscribe, ring the bell. If you're new, comment down below. What are your thoughts on the box office this past weekend, especially The Flash with that Fandango deal, which we'll talk about? What are your thoughts on the box office? Do you think Indiana Jones will do well in theaters, or will it be a bomb like we've seen a lot of other movies in this month? Please like the video. The thumbs up button really helps support the channel more than you guys think. It helps the algorithm so more people will be able to find our videos. So let's get into this past weekend's box office. And in its fourth weekend, it's back to number one, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse, with $19 million, only a 30% drop in its fourth weekend. It is now up to 318.7 domestically. That's almost near the first film's entire run, both domestically and total international, so worldwide numbers. Across the Spider-Verse is a massive success. And what we've been seeing a lot lately is that we'll talk about Elemental in just a second, but Elemental did cost $200 million to make. And shockingly, Across the Spider-Verse only was $100 million to make, which has made this a very much money-making movie for Sony. Just off its domestic numbers, it's for-profit movie. That's not even including its international and total numbers. So a monster slam dunk of a movie for Sony. As Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse seems to be the only mega winner of all the big blockbusters, the only winner of all the blockbusters that hit theaters in the month of June. It ran right through also films like Little Mermaid. It's already made more money than Little Mermaid has here domestically. Just unbelievable numbers for Sony, and you can tell that the hype for the next one could be really big for Across the Spider-Verse. As I said earlier, Elemental, though, is in second place in its second weekend. It did only drop 38% in its second weekend, $18.4 million. This was a photo finish throughout the weekend. That's why I waited until Monday afternoon to film this so I can get the final numbers in for the box office. But Elemental now is up to $65.4 million domestically. Again, these are still not good numbers, and this is definitely an embarrassing film for Pixar as it pertains to money and things like that. Now, it has escaped the headlines because it also did come out the same weekend as The Flash, which is an even larger scale embarrassment for a whole studio. This is still a major blow to Pixar. Back-to-back years since it's been back out of the pandemic, Lightyear and Elemental have lost the studio hundreds of millions of dollars. And it's a big wake-up call to Disney Pixar. It's been a rough year for Disney. This is usually a year where they really succeed. Universal, Sony, and even Paramount have had better years the past 2 years. And Pixar was one of the most famous brands in the world, still is, but it was a brand that was easy and bankable, where any Pixar movie, if it was under the Pixar umbrella, would be able to make money at the box office. And that time has passed. So now Pete Docter and Pixar do need to recalibrate and make sure what is the next step for Elemental. We'll keep talking about Elemental as we get closer to its final numbers. Again, $200 million budget. That's even without its advertising. So that is a big problem for Pixar. Now, this was a switch, but I guess it's the final numbers have come in where The Flash and No Hard Feelings had a photo finish as well for 3 and 4, with The Flash getting to number 3. But they will not be happy either way. The Flash made $15.1 million in its second weekend. It's a 72% drop, an embarrassing drop for The Flash and Warner Brothers Discovery in DC this past weekend. It's now up to $87.5 million in its 2 weekends. People were thinking that would be an okay number for its opening weekend. It's made 87 on 2 weeks in theaters as of now. This is an absolute embarrassment now, even to a point now where if you want to buy a ticket for The Flash, you can get a buy one, get one free for The Flash. In its second weekend, they were running these deals for Fandango. They are desperate, and it's a shocking number. DC still has 2 more movies coming out this year, and now it seems that it seemed like James Gunn and David Zaslav could have pushed all of this blame to the old regime and not announced anything and not supported the movie as fiercely as they did. But because David Zaslav and James Gunn, the new era of DC, have fully supported this movie, saying this is one of the greatest comic book movies of all time, now they are swarmed into the Flash backlash and this all disappointing box office. This is absolutely shocking. I think a lot of people were thinking this would be a disappointing film at the box office, but this is an all-time level disappointment. The second worst drop ever in its second weekend for a comic book movie. Only Morbius last 2 years ago did worse. That is absolutely shocking. And we'll see how the dips continue and what DC and Warner Brothers now pivot to moving forward. Shocking. A win of a weekend is a comedy film, which is a breath of fresh air. No Hard Feelings, which also is from Sony. So Sony has the two kind of lone winners of the box office this past weekend. No Hard Feelings opened to $15 million. And while you might not say this a lot, because it's just a comedy, and it's not this big blockbuster film, the film's budgeted is only around $45 million. So this isn't a fantastic opening for No Hard Feelings, but it's also not an embarrassing one. They have time. And I think this film will do really, really well on the PVOD market because this is Sony. It will hit the PVOD market, the purchase only, then purchase and rental, and then it will be straight to Netflix, which you've seen with a lot of movies as of late from Sony. So a big win, I think, for No Hard Feelings. We do need more of these comedies. The comedy movies are just so sparse these days, especially in the theatrical market. So good to see No Hard Feelings get number 4. Transformers: Rise of the Beast does hang into the top 5 by a couple million with another 11.7. It did drop another 43% its third weekend, 123.1. So this will probably be deemed a successful, and it is a successful, profitable film for Paramount. But this is not a woohoo, bring the Transformers franchise back type of money. These films were grossing a lot of bank at the box office over the last 15 years. And Bumblebee, now this is obviously a massive improvement from a box office point of view over Bumblebee, but this is not an overwhelming success that people are in need of this franchise. So we'll see if Paramount will announce this next Transformers film anytime soon, but it's at number 5. When we get to the overall numbers domestically this year, Super Mario is still the biggest movie of the year at 572. Guardians 3 is at 351. Across the Spider-Verse is now at $316 million. It needs around $35 million now domestically to pass Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 to get into number 2. So we'll see if it has those legs to get $35 million. I think it will. The Little Mermaid's number 4, $270 million. This was its first weekend not being in the top 5 since it's released domestically. Quantumania is at 214 and number 5. And then the rest of the top 10 is John Wick Chapter 4, Creed 3, Fast X, Transformers: Rise of the Beast, and Scream 6. Still 10 movies now over $100 million. The Flash is at number 13 right now, still not at that century mark domestically. When we look at the worldwide numbers, again, Super Mario, still the biggest movie of the year, $1.33 billion. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is very much a successful film for Marvel, 824 worldwide. So while James Gunn has very much the high end of the box office and the low end, with Guardians being a very much needed success for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and then The Flash being an absolute travesty, embarrassment, which is exactly what DC did not want. Very interesting stuff there. Fast X is at number 3 with 696. Again, this movie has number 3, the third biggest movie of the year, and it's still not going to be profitable due to its outrageously large amount of budget. We'll see if Universal thinks about budgeting as it pertains to the next film, which is coming out in 2025. Across the Spider-Verse is at number 6 of $600 million worldwide. It's nearly doubled the amount that the first film got. An absolute heartwarming story. Couldn't happen to a better movie. And Across the Spider-Verse is a massive success. And it's a film that, again, the first film was not a big box office success at all. It really got its way through the Oscar win. And when all these Sony movies eventually hit Netflix, it got a huge audience on Netflix. So you can see that those people did finally come out and see the movie in theaters, which is a really good thing. So Across the Spider-Verse is number 6. Little Mermaid's at number 7 with now it is gotten to $500 million. It's gotten to $500 million, but still with its budget, not profitable at the theatrical exhibition. Quantumania is number 8, 463 worldwide. John Wick's at 432. Transformers at 341. We're heading into our last weekend in the month of June, and one of the most fascinating movies. We'll see if it does well for Disney Lucasfilm, and that is the return of the Indiana Jones franchise. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny hits theaters this upcoming weekend. It debuted at Cannes a month and a half ago. It has been extremely divisive, and I think them wanting to show the film early, they thought the movie was fantastic and wanted all that early buzz, but it did not get that buzz. So you're seeing a couple opposites, this and The Flash. The Flash got a lot of early fantastic buzz, did not deliver. Indiana Jones has not been in theaters now. The last film was 15 years ago. This is again the Lucasfilm's first film since the Star Wars film, so we shall see how this film does at the box office. Also, for counter programming, DreamWorks has their new film of the year as animated films continue to crowd the marketplace, as Ruby Gillman, Teenage Kraken from DreamWorks and Universal also hits theaters this upcoming weekend. DreamWorks had another great success story with Puss in Boots: The Last Wish last year. So we will see if DreamWorks can get another win this upcoming weekend. So that's my box office breakdown show for you guys. Please subscribe, ring the bell. More videos are coming soon this week, including other movie reviews, including for Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, other TV show reviews as well. This show will be back on Monday. Also back this upcoming Monday, we'll be doing a full Indiana Jones ranking this upcoming Monday. So please subscribe, ring the bell, and I'll see you guys very, very